He stared across the table, tapping his pen, bored of endless job interviews. Another single mom, another resume full of gaps. Then, just as he was about to dismiss her politely, a tiny voice behind the door whispered, "Mommy, is he my daddy?" His heart froze, her face went white, and everything he thought he knew about that day shattered. It was a rainy Tuesday morning when Grayson Locke, CEO of LockeTech Industries, walked into his corner office wearing a tailored navy suit and exhaustion in his eyes. The morning had been packed with back-to-back interviews, dozens of applicants, none impressive. His company, a rising force in AI and green energy, was expanding fast. He needed someone sharp, focused, no drama. That's when Maya Bennett walked in. She wore a modest blouse, a worn-out blazer, and shoes that had seen better days. Her resume was solid but inconsistent. Years unaccounted for, sudden job changes, nothing stable. Grayson scanned the papers silently, while Maya sat across from him, shoulders stiff, hands folded. "You took a 5-year break," he noted flatly. "Care to explain?" Maya hesitated. Her voice was calm, but carried pain. "Family issues. I had to raise my daughter alone. No support, no child care. I worked part-time where I could." Grayson barely looked up. "Sounds like excuses." She didn't flinch. "Maybe, but excuses don't raise children." "I did." That caught his eye for a second, but he was already moving on, already thinking about the next candidate. The rain tapped harder on the glass. He glanced at the clock, and then a knock on the door. Before he could answer, the door creaked open. A little girl, no more than 6, stood there, dark curls, oversized hoodie, soaked shoes. She peeked into the room, eyes wide. "Mommy, is he my daddy?" Time stopped. Grayson's mouth parted slightly. Maya's body stiffened like ice. I told you to wait in the hallway, baby," she said quickly, rushing to the door. The girl looked confused. "But that's the man from the picture in your drawer?" Grayson stood slowly. "Excuse me, what did she just say?" The office air was heavy. Grayson closed the blinds with a quick snap, silencing the open world beyond. His eyes, once cold and businesslike, now flickered with a strange unease. "Maya," he said, voice lower, sharper. "What is she talking about?" The little girl, sensing the tension, clutched her mother's hand. Maya knelt down beside her. "Sweetheart, please go back to the lobby. I'll be there in 5 minutes." The girl nodded and walked out, reluctantly. Grayson locked the door behind her. "Talk," he said. No more polite CEO mask. Now he was a man backed into a corner of his own past. Maya inhaled shakily. "6 years ago, we met. It was a charity event. You were drunk. I was waitressing to pay my way through night school. We had a night." Grayson staggered back slightly. "I never intended to contact you," she continued. "You were famous, powerful, and I was no one. I tried to move on, but when I found out I was pregnant, I couldn't bring myself to get rid of her." His voice was barely a whisper. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I didn't want money or pity or some court battle where your lawyers tear me apart. I just wanted to protect her." He turned, gripping the desk edge tightly. The image of the little girl's eyes, his eyes, flashed through his mind. "Does she know?" "She knows about her dad, a good man who had to go away, but she doesn't know the whole truth, not yet." Grayson exhaled through his teeth. His world was spinning, crashing into truths he never asked for. And yet, deep inside, something unfamiliar stirred, a strange warmth, a terrifying pull. Grayson sat in silence, eyes on the floor. Minutes passed. Then finally, he spoke. "She called me her dad, and I laughed at your resume 2 minutes ago." Maya stood silently, heart thudding. He turned toward her, voice now sincere. "I'm not the man I was 6 years ago. I've built companies, crushed competition, but never once thought about what I left behind." He paused. "Can I meet her? Not just in passing. I mean, get to know her. Slowly. If she'll let me." Tears welled in Maya's eyes. She wasn't sure if she was angry, relieved, or terrified. "I can't promise she'll understand," she said softly, "but she's curious. She's always asked about you." Grayson nodded. "Then let's start. With honesty." He walked to his desk and pulled out a folder. "This was supposed to be your rejection," he said, "but I'd be a fool to let a woman raise a child alone and still walk into this building with dignity, with intelligence, and ask for a chance." He handed her a new contract, double the original position's offer. Maya's hands trembled. "Why?" "Because my daughter deserves to see what strength looks like, and because I owe you more than I can ever repay." At that moment, the door creaked open again. The little girl peeked in shyly. "Mommy, are we okay?" Maya knelt down and opened her arms. Grayson walked over slowly, crouching beside her. "Hi, I'm Grayson. Can I, maybe, take you both to lunch?" The girl smiled. Maya looked at him. For the first time, truly looked at him. Not as a CEO, not as the man from the past, but as someone who might finally be ready to stay.